All right, somebody asked for Google on the Godel platform. So I have to listen to the Godel people first. Sorry, guys. These are my customers. Okay. Let us look at the Goog. I update Goog fairly regularly, so. Oh, I did not update Q2. Alphabet investor regulations. Let me see here. 163. This is not right. Why are so many CEOs Indian? They work hard, man. They're really smart. They work hard. American dream. Indian American dream. Okay, so let's do balance sheet for Google. Look at the CapEx for Google. They've gone from having 100 bill in equipment to 150. That's including depreciation. You know, they have this recent ruling where they potentially will no longer be able to pay Apple for placement, product placement. I think it's kind of bullshit. I mean, I'm anti-regulation, very antitrust. Needless to say. And I don't think we should break up monopolies just because they're monopolies. Why punish people for doing their job well? That to me is crazy. Yeah, I agree that these bigger companies have risk-averse CEOs. That's why people like Satya and Mark Zuckerberg are very unusual. You know, they're really remarkable risk takers. I'm just going to hard code this in for a second. Okay, so Google last quarter grew 14%. I have to go back a quarter real quick. It'll only take a second, I promise. Yeah, so Google's old CEO, Eric Schmidt, recently said that the reason the company hasn't been doing well is because of the remote work and pay time off, which I completely agree with. I think remote work is a non-starter. and he was basically saying the company no longer has that dog in them, and they removed the video from the internet because that's the kind of shit Google does. But he said it; he can't take it back. I think there's a lot of truth to what he said. And, generally, the bigger the company, the lazier it gets, That's pretty typical. It's hard to have that entrepreneurial drive. What the heck? Let's look at cash flow. They call me Fidel Cash Flow. Sometimes they call me that. You may call me that as well. Chat, is that real? Chat? I have to be like Aiden Ross. The chat is going crazy right now. It's hard to make financial analysis that fun and that sexy. It really is. It's just not that easy. Are these numbers for real right now? Can you believe this? 16% growth? Whoa! That's crazy, bros. Kramer, is the one guy, give him credit, that could kind of make it interesting, but, his whole shtick was, a little bit, I don't know, not contrived, but like, maybe even ill-informed. Like, you could tell he doesn't know every stock, which is a little foolish to even suggest you could know every stock. Because, I don't know, in my field, I know a lot of stocks in biopharma, but it's hard to stay that current on them unless you're, looking at them all day. And I know he works really hard and everything, but I don't know. Entertainment is a distant goal for me. I'd much rather you be rich than entertained, or learn how to become rich. Because I'm not going to do it for you. But I'm happy to share what I know. Notice Google hasn't made a substantial acquisition in a long time. I think it's because, they considered, right, apparently buying HubSpot, which would have been interesting. They're spending their capital, as you can see here, on stock buybacks. They've put $100 billion into stock buybacks these last 7 quarters. 100 B. And they've paid some dividends. Not much in the dividends, it looks like. Actually, they stopped paying dividends? I don't get it. Chat, I don't get it. Okay. So trailing, no, that's single quarter free cash flow. Wow. Okay. So TTM FCF, trailing 12 months free cash flow. It's a pretty good metric, I think. It's been pretty steady if you look at that chat. Take a look, line 94. You see that? It's been pretty steady. You know, the company's been trying to invest in CapEx. You can see that, like, from 2022 to 2024, you know, it's sort of been this steady 60 to 70 billion. This number looks like suspiciously the same. Almost looks like, what are the odds that all 3 quarters would be 69,495 together? That's like impossible. What a coincidence. These are like all different numbers. How crazy is that, chat? How crazy is that? Is there any explanation for that? Wild. Like, how unlikely? Let's look at the decimals. Well, they don't have decimals, so they're exactly the 3 same numbers. That's pretty crazy. You never see that. All right, let's go start looking at the actual situation. Disaggregated revenue, Google search, 48,509. And so search is growing. You know, ChatGPT was introduced, what would you say, some point in this period, right? And I have like the other traffic data, and I can tell you from that traffic data, as well as this revenue data, like, ain't shit changed for Google. YouTube also growing. Rest in peace to Susan. You know, if you guys didn't know, Susan, one of the great businesswomen in history.
You could skip this.
Sorry for the ad. I'm on the other Google account, has no ads.
Is mourning a devastating. The tech community is mourning a devastating loss. Susan Wojcicki, the former CEO of YouTube, has died at the age of 56 after a battle with lung cancer. And her husband, Dennis Troper, takes to Facebook to announce the sad news. He writes alongside pictures of Susan, "It is with profound sadness that I share the news of Susan Wojcicki passing. My beloved wife of 26 years and mother to our 5 children left us today after 2 years of living with non-small cell lung cancer." He continues, "Susan was not just my best friend and partner in life, but a brilliant mind, a loving mother, and a dear friend to many. Her impact on our family and the world was immeasurable. We are heartbroken, but grateful for the time we had with her. Please keep our family in your thoughts as we navigate this difficult time." Susan joined Google in 1999, years before it was acquired by YouTube in 2006.
She got that backwards, maybe?
In 2014, she became the media company's CEO, leading the charge of video sharing on social media. And after 9 years in the position, Susan stepped down in 2023 to focus on her, quote, family, health, and personal projects, according to NBC News, and was replaced by YouTube's current CEO, Neil Mohan. Following the news of her passing, Neil also expresses his condolences.
Yeah, that guy's voice is annoying, but rest in peace, Susan. Tech legend. One of the, I want to say, first employees at Google. There she is, number 16. I keep track of all the Google employees. Susan Wojcicki. Marissa. These guys I both know. This guy just got reacquired. Jeff and Narayanan. So yeah, one of the first employees over at Google. made a very special company. All right, so GCP, Google Cloud, still growing. Other bets and hedging. Okay. TAC is traffic acquisition costs, pretty important stuff to look at. I also want to see the geography. And I want to listen to the conference call. Advertising still most of Google's business. What are the real big threats to search? GPT, which Google I think is completely neutered. They have their own sort of AI search. They're very good at AI, despite all the shit we talk. You know, they invented half of AI. So I think they're going to be fine. They're not that great at product anymore, but at the end of the day, it seems to me very unlikely that there's going to be, you know, some interloper that comes out of the woodwork and beats Google. Here's TAC. So I guess the idea is like, is this where the Apple payments come out of? It should, right? Traffic acquisition costs paid to distribution partners. They pay Mozilla, they pay Apple. That's their main cost of goods, right? Otherwise they would have no cost of goods. I like Intel. I don't know if it's a buy right now, but I do like Intel. IBRX looked really interesting to me, actually. I can't say I really like it or anything, but I'm looking into it. I don't know Zomedica. I haven't looked at that in a long time. I can look at it later. So buying character is a really interesting move for Google. I don't know Starbucks at all. I think the character acquisition's really fascinating. They're paying like $2 billion. It'll come out in the cash flow statement, I think, next quarter, if they close the deal. Character AI. So they're changing their CFO too. I'm not sure on Iovance. I only looked at it for a few minutes. So in terms of the TTM FCF, that's one I want to talk about real briefly. So the enterprise value chat is roughly 2 trillion. Gupta's doing good. So 70, that's around a 27, 28 times earnings. But that's with a lot of CapEx that may roll over and not be spent again. So that's kind of one way to think about that. Yeah, I talked to Navalia, of course. It's on our website. I talked to most of the famous investors and founders. Just because somebody's famous doesn't mean they're good, by the way. Naval is very good, but you got to decide whose advice you want to take and for what topic. And for me, it's just, information to integrate into your own thinking process. Google, same thing. Okay, let's listen a little.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for standing by for the Alphabet second quarter 2024 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker presentation, there will be a question and answer session. To ask a question during the session, you will need to press star 1 on your telephone. I would now like to turn the conference over to your speaker today, Jim Friedland, Director of Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Alphabet's second quarter 2024 earnings conference call. With us today are Sundar Pichai, Philip Schindler, and Ruth Porat. Now, I'll quickly cover the safe harbor. Some of the statements that we make today regarding our business, operations, and financial performance may be considered forward-looking. Such statements are based on current expectations and assumptions that are subject to a number of risks and uncertainties. Actual results could differ materially. Please refer to our Forms 10-K and 10-Q, including the risk factors. We undertake no obligation to update any forward-looking statement. During this call, we will present both GAAP and non-GAAP financial measures. A reconciliation of non-GAAP to GAAP measures is included in today's earnings press release, which is distributed and available to the public through our investor relations website located at abc.xyz/investor. Our comments will be on year-over-year comparisons unless we state otherwise. And now, I'll turn the call over to Sundar.
Thank you, Jim, and hello, everyone. I'm really pleased with our results this quarter. They showed tremendous ongoing momentum in search and great progress in cloud with our AI initiatives driving new growth. Search had another excellent quarter, and in terms of product innovation, we are seeing great progress with AI overviews. In Q2, cloud reached some major milestones. Quarterly revenues crossed the $10 billion mark for the first time, at the same time passed the $1 billion mark in quarterly operating profit. Year to date, our AI infrastructure and generative AI solutions for cloud customers have already generated billions in revenues and are being used by more than 2 million developers. As I spoke about last quarter, we are uniquely well positioned for the AI opportunity ahead. Our research and infrastructure leadership means we can pursue an in-house strategy that enables our product teams to move quickly. Combined with our model building expertise, we are in a strong position to control our destiny as the technology continues to evolve. Importantly, we are innovating at every layer of the AI stack, from chips to agents and beyond, a huge strength. We are committed to this leadership long term. This was underscored by the announcements we made at I/O, Cloud Next, and Google Marketing Live, and we'll touch on many of them here. Today, I'll start with search, then move to our AI momentum more generally, followed by cloud, YouTube, and some closing thoughts. Let's dive in. Over the past 25 years, we have continued to reimagine and expand Google search across many technological shifts. With AI, we are delivering better responses on more types of search queries and introducing new ways to search. We are pleased to see the positive trends from our testing continue as we roll out AI overviews, including increases in search usage and increased user satisfaction with the results. People who are looking for help with complex topics are engaging more and keep coming back for AI overviews. And we see even higher engagement from younger users aged 18 to 24 when they use search with AI overviews. As we have said, we are continuing to prioritize approaches that send traffic to sites across the web. And we are seeing that ads appearing either above or below AI overviews continue to provide valuable options for people to take action and connect with businesses. Beyond AI overviews, AI expands the types of queries we are able to address and opens up powerful new ways to search. Visual search via Lens is one. Soon you'll be able to ask questions by taking a video with Lens. And already we have seen that AI overviews in Lens leads to an increase in overall visual search usage. Another example is Circle to Search, which is available today on more than 100 million Android devices. We are seeing tremendous momentum from our AI investments. More than 1.5 million developers are now using Gemini across our developer tools. And we recently unveiled new models that are more capable and efficient than ever. Gemini now comes in 4 sizes, with each model designed for its own set of use cases. It's a versatile model family that runs efficiently on everything from data centers to devices. At 2 million tokens, we offer the longest context window of any large-scale foundation model today, which powers developer use cases that no other model can handle. Gemini is making Google's own products better. All 6 of our products with more than 2 billion monthly users now use Gemini. This means that Google is the company that is truly bringing AI to everyone. Gemini is powering incredibly helpful features in search, Workspace, Google Messages, and more. At I/O, we showed new features coming soon to Gmail and to Google Photos. Soon you'll be able to ask Photos questions like, what did I eat at that restaurant in Paris last year? For a glimpse of the future, I hope you saw Project Astra at I/O. It shows multimodal understanding and natural conversational capabilities. We've always wanted to build a universal agent, and it's an early look at how they can be helpful in daily life. Our AI product advances come from our long-standing foundation of research leadership, as well as our global network of infrastructure. In Q2, we announced our first data center and a cloud region in Malaysia, and expansion projects in Iowa, Virginia, and Ohio. Our TPUs are a key bet here too. Trillium is the 6th generation of our custom AI accelerator, and it's our best performing and most energy efficient TPU to date. It achieves a near 5x increase in peak compute performance per chip and is 67% more energy efficient compared to TPU v5e. And the latest NVIDIA Blackwell platform will be coming to Google Cloud in early 2025. We continue to invest in designing and building robust and efficient infrastructure to support our efforts in AI, given the many opportunities we see ahead. Of course, as we do this, we'll continue to create capacity by allocating resources towards our highest priorities. We are relentlessly driving efficiencies in our AI models. For example, over the past quarter, we've made quality improvements that include doubling the core model size for AI overviews, while at the same time improving latency and keeping cost per AI overview served flat. And we are focused on matching the right model size to the complexity of the query in order to minimize impact on cost and latency. Separately on our real estate investments, we are taking a measured approach to match the current and future needs of our hybrid workforce, as well as our local communities. Next, Google Cloud. We continue to see strong customer interest, winning leading brands like Hitachi, Motorola Mobility, and KPMG. Our deep partnership with Oracle significantly expanded our joint offerings to their large customer base. Our momentum begins with our AI infrastructure, which provides AI startups like Essential AI with leading cost performance for models and high-performance computing applications. We continue to drive fundamental differentiation with new advances since Cloud Next. This includes Trillium, which I mentioned earlier, and A3 Mega powered by NVIDIA H100 GPUs, which doubles the networking bandwidth of A3. Our enterprise AI platform Vertex helps customers such as Deutsche Bank, Kingfisher, and the US Air Force build powerful AI agents. Last month, we announced a number of new advances. Uber and WPP are using Gemini Pro 1.5 and Gemini Flash 1.5 in areas like customer experience and marketing. We broadened support for third-party models, including Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and open source models like Gemma 2, Llama, and Mistral. We are the only cloud provider to offer grounding with Google Search, and we are expanding grounding capabilities with Moody's, MSCI, ZoomInfo, and more. Our AI-powered applications portfolio is helping us win new customers and drive upsell. For example, our conversational AI platform is helping customers like Best Buy and Gordon Food Service. Gemini for Workspace helps Click Therapeutics analyze patient feedback as they build targeted digital treatments. Our AI-powered agents are also helping customers develop better quality software, find insights from their data, and protect their organization against cybersecurity threats using Gemini. Software engineers at Wipro are using Gemini Code Assist to develop, test, and document software faster. And data analysts at Mercado Libre are using BigQuery and Looker to optimize capacity planning and fulfill shipments faster. Cybersecurity risks continue to accelerate, and the number of breaches continue to grow, something we all see in the news every day and that our management teams help manage. Our strong track record of uptime, quality control, and reliability make Google Cloud the trusted security choice for organizations like Pfizer and Marriott International. In Q2, we infused AI throughout our security portfolio, helping TELUS strengthen its proactive security posture. Turning next to YouTube. YouTube is focused on a clear strategy, connecting creators with a massive audience and enabling them to build successful businesses through ads and subscriptions while helping advertisers reach their desired audience. We had a great brand cast this quarter, and Philip will say more. I'm pleased with the progress here. YouTube is remaining number one in US streaming watch time according to Nielsen. Views of YouTube Shorts on connected TVs more than doubled last year, and we are making it easier for creators to add captions and turn regular videos into shorts. Next, on Android and Pixel. We joined Samsung for the Galaxy Unpacked event a few weeks ago, and we shared that Samsung's new devices will include the latest AI-powered Google updates on Android. It was a great event. I'm looking forward to our Made by Google event happening in August. We'll have lots to share around Android and the Pixel portfolio of devices. Our Pixel line is doing well. We recently introduced the new Pixel 8a, powered by our latest Google Tensor G3 chip. It provides beautiful AI experiences like Circle to Search, Best Date, and a Gemini-powered AI assistant. In other bets, I'm really pleased with the progress Waymo's making, a real leader in the space and getting rave reviews from users. Waymo served more than 2 million trips to date and driven more than 20 million fully autonomous miles on public roads. Waymo is now delivering well over 50,000 weekly paid public rides, primarily in San Francisco and Phoenix. And in June, we removed the waitlist in San Francisco so anyone can take a ride. Fully autonomous testing is underway in other Bay Area locations without a human in the driver's seat. Before I close, I want to acknowledge that today is Ruth's final earnings call. Let me take a moment to thank her for all she has done for Google and Alphabet as our...
Somebody asked if everything's priced in the stock market. Well, I think that, yeah, investing is tricky. There's a lot of benefits to studying companies independent of whether or not it's priced in or not. Obviously, if you're solely an investor, that's largely all you really care about. But let's say you're an investor in just AI or search or software in general, you probably have to pay attention to Google, if that makes sense. Um, so that's sort of the first thing there. Um, it's a good barometer for all of tech. You're right that a big market cap stock like this is fairly well um, arbitraged. So my quick and dirty numbers tell me the stock's worth 161 and the stock's trading at 163. Obviously, my forecasting ability isn't that specific and sensitive, but it kind of tells you that the market's assuming this kind of thing will happen. Now, I do think it looks sort of attractive because in my model, starting in 2030, the business goes into decline, which is probably not going to happen. My guess is there'll be some growth instead. And that gets you to 230, which is, quite a bit more than 160. But you're not going to make a fortune with Google. That's a 40% return or so. The discount rate, it's something you can decide for all your other equities. I kind of feel like if the 10-year is trading at 4%, maybe 8% is still a little too conservative. Maybe 7 or 7.5 is more likely. And I think the risk for Google is kind of way to the upside. Like, I do think that they'll continue to grow. I don't think the risk is way to the downside where, as much as I like Perplexity and OpenAI's product and Claude's product, Anthropic's product, it still feels like Google's not going anywhere. If Apple did search, that would be interesting. But Microsoft tried with Bing and couldn't get anywhere. Google responded very quickly in search. And their product right now is pretty good. So cloud for Google, I think, could work out with TPUs. It's one of the few serious competitors to NVIDIA. They haven't done a great job of evangelizing TPUs, but given NVIDIA's success, it could be like another trillion for Google's market cap. It's like the risk seems to be weighed to the upside, but it's still a very big company that's not going to be moving like a swift small company, right? I also think they can. It's weird. Like, they're not a very honest company in the sense that they'd rather you not use their AI stuff, and they'd rather not give it to you. They only started to do that when they were pressured by OpenAI and other companies, Meta specifically. And so now we have some open source products from Google, but they'd rather kind of keep it in-house. And that's the sort of the character AI story and sort of the LLM story in general, right? Google had LLMs before anyone. And I actually briefly hired one of the guys involved in that kind of shit show. I think it was called Lambda at the time. Now it's called Gemini. But the first Google LLM that people thought was like alive. So again, it's a little hard to foresee too much, but this big CapEx spend that they've had, like, you could argue, okay, like, look at this CapEx chat. They kind of started this boom in 2022, and I guess they tapered a little bit. But like, assuming this I don't know, maybe it's like, it should be 80 or 90. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. In which case, it's like somewhat attractive. Like it's fairly. I'd rather buy it. If I could buy it at 130 or something, that'd be like the dream price. It's just hard for them to grow that fast. Like you can see, the last two years have been pretty tepid, and it's sort of a recession. It would be kind of a problem stock in a recession. Like they could have, in 08, I think they had still, did they grow in 08? I forget. That's actually a good thing to look at. I think they did grow in 08, but it was still a much smaller company then. I don't like Satya. I've said that many times. I think he's kind of a fool. So if he gets replaced at some point, I do think that would be bullish. They need an agile leader. They're very risk averse, like very, very risk averse. So it seems like a decent holding for a portfolio, but it's not the kind of thing that I'd be jumping up and down about buying. You could make the case if they make some really great investments, if they grow a lot faster for some reason, you can get a double, which is a lot for a big cap stock like that. Can you get to 4 trillion? Yeah, maybe. But it's going to require quite a good outcome for them. And I think they're delivering, right? So I think the main lever they can pull is TPUs. If they can make TPUs like NVIDIA as exciting as NVIDIA, I do think that, this cloud business can be as valuable as NVIDIA by itself. That's something that people don't understand. YouTube could also be monetized more effectively, and I think they're doing that, but it's not going to move the needle that much. Same thing with Waymo. Like, Waymo's a really amazing company and interesting, but like, what's the most it could be worth? 100 bill? 200 bill? Like, does that really move the needle for 2 trillion? Not really. 5-10%. And don't forget, Grok is out there with AI, and that's a threat. Meta is out there with AI. You could see people doing Google searches on Meta, I guess, a little bit more. It's kind of this weird thing where, because of the lock-in on these devices, there is some serious risk for Google there, but I think most people are going to search with Google regardless. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's like this sleepy giant. If the market sells off or something, you get a chance to buy it much cheaper. It's, could be attractive, but let me reset some of these numbers to something more realistic. Use 0. 7's fine, I guess. Okay. Okay, so 20% upside in this. Okay, let's see what else Godel wants me to look at.